everyone. Welcome to the She's a 10 times 5 show. I'm Lori, and my friends Lisa, Michelle, Randy, and Marcia are mixing it up and joining me to do what girlfriends do best, chat from the heart. Whether it's celebrity stories or serious topics, we're talking about it and coming in hot. Join us as we bring you the aha moments of learning, reflection, inspiration, and of course, a whole heck of a lot of fun. Let's go. This episode is brought to you by...
We are Rich Life and Travel Strategist Anita Heidemann.
And Chef Dario Tomaselli to inspire you to whole live your life.
We were given a second chance in life and know it's never too late.
We create experiences to help people rediscover and connect again through food and travel with our retreats and themed dinner club community.
It all starts with a Mediterranean bundle travel-themed dinner party package for Italy, Spain, and France.
Learn more and take advantage of our 35% off special today for some fun with friends again and like-minded community around the world.
So come and join us so you can live your life on this Mediterranean journey that we will change your life for health, happiness with others, and inspired living. So now back to your podcast. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, welcome to She's a 10 times 5. I've got Michelle in Tampa, Virtual Studio 50. What's going on, Michelle?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, the singing. That's your shtick.
It's my. Do I have a shtick? It's my shtick.
You have a shtick. Yeah. I don't know what my shtick is. I think I have a lot of shticks. And I've had, here's what's funny. I've had a rough go of it lately with my shticks. I've been fodder for a lot of good bloopers, have I not?
Oh, but you're so lovable. And yours are fun. I'm so excited about today's show.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of bringing all things cuisine, we are bringing Ashley Holt, a.k.a. Sugar Monster, to the table. And can you believe the cakes she does?
No, they're insane. And she's so talented. And she's, and she is a familiar face because not only is she one of the stars of Netflix Bake Squad, which is one of my favorite shows to watch with my daughter. She's won an episode of Chopped, and she had won TLC's Cake Boss when they did The Next Great Baker. And she's done so many things with her career and still such a young age. She's really impressive. Yeah. Can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, another badass. I just love it. She's hitting it out of the park. And what I'm hoping from this episode is she's got an interesting story where she started off in the modeling world. And then I find it fascinating how she's done a complete 180 and is now an artist in something totally different. I hope she unveils and lets us get underneath the hood on what made her decide to do that and all the different facets of her career change. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
All right, let's go. But before we do,
we're kicking it off to Randy. Hard yes?
Yes. I'm hoping she gives us a hard yes. Let's get it.
I want a hard yes too. Yes.
Yeah. All right,
yes.
Randy.
Yes.
Let's get a hard yes. All right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Randy Crawford and I'm a life coach. And my philosophy is simple. When we know better, we do better. No judgment. But with me, it's always a hard yes or a hard no. So today you're going to hear about a gal that ended up attending culinary school. That sounds fabulous. And it made me want to focus on the relationship that people have with food. Now I'm going to read a really scary statistic to you right now. According to research, eating disorders have the second highest mortality rate amongst all psychiatric illnesses, with someone dying every 52 minutes as a result. In other words, when you hear people talk about anorexia, where we undereat, and bulimia, where we binge and then purge, that's not a punchline. That's no joke. That literally has lethal consequences. So I would like today to talk about something different called disordered eating. And I would argue that almost every single person you know has this. So I'm going to read to you a few examples of what disordered eating means. When you try fad diets all the time, You try a different cleanse. You go get colonics. You have a heightened sense of your weight at all times. You weigh yourself every day. You name foods as good or bad, and you feel shame. I mean, you're really, really shamed if you say, I'm not going to have any peanut butter today, and then you break and you eat peanut butter at the end of the night. Or you try for a week to not drink any alcohol, and then you go out and you have a margarita with friends, and you are just sick about this. This is what is called disordered eating. And we all basically have some form of this, but it's really, really important. Two things I think where I'm coming in with a hard no. One, you're going to hear different studies telling you that social media does not impact body image, and I'm going to call a huge BS. Of course it does. Girls, moms, all of us, we scroll and then we look at other bodies, we look at influencers, and we compare ourselves. So one really big no is when you're scrolling and you start to feel like you're not enough, put your phone down. Secondly, and this is one where I say my philosophy, no judgment. I am 54 years old, and for most of my life, I admit, if somebody looks really good, I say to them, whoa, like you look amazing. What are you doing? What are you eating? Are you standing on your head upside down naked in the middle of the street? Whatever you're doing, I will do it. But here's what I've learned, especially from friends with daughters in eating disordered clinics. Never compliment anybody on their weight. So the next time you go to do that, especially if you're around a friend and she's around a young girl, think about that. Don't go up to them and say, you look so amazing. What are you doing? You can say something like, I love your energy, or God, your hair looks gorgeous. You smell delicious. I love your bag, your shoes, your clothes, your outfit. Your energy is fantastic. Come in with a real beautiful compliment like that, and you will all of a sudden notice the shift in yourself and be like, whoa, like, it's not, no judgment. Just you realize complimenting someone on their weight can be really harmful, especially if that person has gotten to that weight in an unhealthy way. And then you come in and basically validate it, they're going to continue a very unhealthy behavior.
Okay, everyone, now it's time for our show. Welcome, Ashley. It's so good to have you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Yeah, you bet. And she's in Connecticut. This is how rad it is. She's in Connecticut. Michelle is in Tampa, and I'm in San Diego. We are the perfect trifecta of the globe right now, of North America. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, your areas are a lot warmer. We're getting some snow out here. It's like high 30s. Not great.
Yeah. You know what? There's a song that says it never rains in Southern California, and that is bullshit because it has been raining in California the whole winter season. We're over it because we're so spoiled with the sunshine, and it's really getting in the way of my pickleball. So I'm salty about it.
Pickleball is the best.
It is the best. Okay. Well, let's start with this. I mean, you are absolutely adorable. And so I can completely see how you were a model because you've got that really great look. So you started your career in modeling, you were in Vogue, and you made a complete 180 turn. Let's go.
Yeah. Wow. First of all, I can't believe it's been so long. I'm 35 now, and it's like, where does all this time go? Yeah, I started modeling. That was completely like a fluke. At this point, I was in high school, just this rebellious punk rock kid with like 5 different colors of hair. My ears were gauged out. Just thought I was way too cool for school. And I did a photo shoot in a cemetery with my sister. I've never actually told a story like this. Anyways, so we had someone, we were on this website where we shared these pictures. It was reputable, where you can go get photo shoots or whatever. And there was a talent manager that was on that site, and he saw our pics. And for whatever reason he's like, I see something in you. We just need to clean all of this up. So that was already like a 180 for my original life. So I never really sought out modeling, but honestly, it was like such an incredible experience because it brought me, even if there was like a lot of things emotionally that were very difficult to handle in that industry as an 18-year-old. It brought me out of the small town that I grew up in and showed me a much larger side of the world. and of ambition that I don't believe I definitely would not have had access to as early as I did without it.
Oh, I was going to say, and you've been vocal about your reason for stepping away, which I commend you for doing. And if you can share a little bit about that, because I think that it's a message that we all need to hear.
Yeah, thank you. Modeling, it is so wonderful for so many people. It's shared or it's created so many wonderful experiences for me. But at that age, like mentally, I could not, it was too difficult for me. I was too vulnerable. So some of the issues that would come across, body image, and I just didn't have the confidence behind me to be able to say that, what you're saying about my body doesn't matter. I internalized all of it, and it was very destructive for me. So, having to go through a couple different eating disorders and overcoming those just to try and fit into this box of what other people told me what was beautiful. It was really hard for me. So I needed to get out and, put my mental health first. And my retreat during those times, like coming off of a difficult day on set, I would go back to my model apartment. It's called the model apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, 10 girls. My room had 3 bunk beds in it. The other room 2, like we were packed in there. And it's just, you're surrounded by other people who are going through the same struggles. So it's very, it can be like a pretty dark place. It's not all glitz and glams and high in fashion, and it's hard in that age. Your brain's not fully developed. So, anyways, I recognize like the darkness that was around me, and I'm like, this is not it. This is not it for me. The way I found to express myself was through baking, and I would bake for the girls and bring cookies, decorated cookies and cupcakes on set. And that just sparked this new just place of possibility for me outside of anything physical, and whatever we're all born with physical. None of us have anything to say about that, So to be, I don't know, there was something about being in an industry where that was all that you were worth. It was very it was just very surface, so to find a connection with an art that brings something else out of people. Like, look what I created with my hands. Like, you put a paper bag on my head, whatever, like you're tasting my product, you're tasting my art. And that kind of gave me, I don't know, it's like a rebirth.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the art because it is art. I mean, it really, Michelle and I talked about it today. It's like, it's almost like you're an artist that gets commissioned. But I just want to underscore something that you said, and because I find it really, really positive and such a good message. So we interviewed a supermodel, Kim Alexis, from the 80s, 500 covers of magazines. And she talked really candidly as well about her hate relationship with food because of the industry she's in. And here you are doing something that you're passionate about, and she's also doing something that involves food and healthy and clean eating. So I commend you guys for talking about it, because I think a lot of women struggle with the body image that goes along with everything that they do, right?
Yeah, and it just creates this like trickling effect of negativity and like poor self-talk, like throughout every single like facet of your life. And until you can recognize that it doesn't have to be like that, and it doesn't have to be so dark and like dismal. Like, you can take control and choose the energies that you let in your life. And that, I don't know, that's when it gave me like my power back, is recognizing like, oh, I don't have to be exactly who they say I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's how powerful that you recognize that it's still at a young age.
At a very young age, yeah.
Because it takes some, women years to get to that place to realize, wait, I am worth more than this. And just to instill that confidence. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And it's still like, there's so many other areas in my life too, where I'm trying to unpack and gain confidence in other areas. So it's like a reminder, if you came over this like darker time in life and you came out of that and made something wonderful with it, like those ebbs and flows are going to always be a part of our lives. We're never just going to be coasting in happiness forever, unfortunately.
Absolutely. That is life. Absolutely. And so how did you go, what was that transition between that period of your life to the next great baker? Because that was like a huge piece of kind of stepping stone, right? Of your career.
Yeah, absolutely. I had an abrupt ending to modeling. It was kind of partnered with a breakup from my high school boyfriend, and just this big dramatic thing, as everything was in my life, and late teens, early 20s, everything's just like explosion all the time. So I broke up with my boyfriend. I moved back to Georgia, and I'm originally from Georgia, and kind of just like this, what is next? And I was lost for a few months, like we get. And I recognized, like, I have to pick something. What is it? I need a focus right now, because right now, like, this is not it. It just wasn't doing anything. I was literally just like partying and wasting my life away. Early 20s. I'm like, all right,
I can't. Which is everyone's, a lot of people's.
Yeah, I got two sons right now that are doing the exact same thing.
I showed up to work. I worked with my friend. He's like, I can't believe all that you've accomplished in your career. And you were this girl that I knew. I showed up to work barefoot once when I worked in California at a chocolate shop. That's how just much like I don't know, living in outer space I was. But anyways, I had to get a focus, and I either wanted to do hair or go to culinary school. And when I took a tour of a culinary school, I saw someone decorate a cake, and I sat back in just like amazement. I was like, this is it. That is so beautiful. It seems so peaceful. And it was already like, I already had an attachment to baking anyways, and it just found like more of a focus within that world. So I guess to bring that to Next Great Baker, I was in culinary school and then just got, job after job, learning what I can learn from each job, and then go off to the next, starting with, I've had literally every single job in the baking world. So it started with like mom and pop cupcake shops, little bakeries, another higher end bakery that specialized in custom cakes, and then started moving into the fine dining and country clubs, and just worked my way up to knowing absolutely nothing to then working as an executive pastry chef for one of the biggest country clubs in Louisville. And a lot of that was done just via YouTube, school for a little bit. And I was working at this point like 3 jobs, and my manager at a comedy club that I worked at, she was like, Ashley, my friend is casting this show. You're going to be perfect for it. You have to apply for it. And yeah, just went through a couple years of casting, because they would say, we want you, and then we don't want you, and kind of just messing with me. And then they finally casted me, and I was like, all right, this is it. Like, I am going there to win. There's no other option.
Nice. I can't even imagine. I mean, one, it's so great that, we look at you and you seem so young and vibrant, and the process it's taking you to get to where you are, you went through the gauntlet. And I think we tend to forget that. I think we look at the sizzle and the whole optics of everything, and we don't realize how much it takes to pay your dues to get to the point where you can do all the fun things that you're doing today, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like I talk about this with my friends a lot, because it's a lot being out there and living your life in front of people and having these amazing opportunities like Big Squad on Netflix. It's like the opportunity of a lifetime, and to do it twice. But it puts an incredible amount of pressure on you, because it's like, on one hand, you're living the absolute dream, but then the pressure of, well, this is how everyone perceives me, is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. And yes. And there was so much more that was created, and like the foundation that I created for myself to be able to have that as a reward for all my hard work. And, it definitely is not something that was like a fluke or like a luck. I really believe that through my just professional career and the like portfolio that I've built for myself, and the experiences I've created for myself is what has led to having such a wonderful opportunity like Big Squad.
Yeah, I think those are I'm glad you brought that up, Lori, because it really is. I always say we live in this kind of world of it's a highlight reel. And so that's what people see, but they're not seeing everything that goes on behind the scenes. what life is like, and then what you've done to, the steps that you've taken to get there. So
And let's talk about your show, right? It's
Let's
pretty
talk about
cool.
it.
oh my God. Like you're in my late night, my daughter's next to me and she curls up. She's like, Mom, let's watch Bake Squad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What I love about the show, and I want to pass to you, but this is like a phenomenon with kids. Like, did you have any idea that like not only everybody on Netflix loves it, but children are obsessed with the show?
We are all so incredibly blessed. And me as a mother, I have a 4.5-year-old. I still can't get her to watch the show, but it's cool having her friends are into it, and we get stopped sometimes at the grocery store.
She's watching
kids.
Bluey, right? Is that
Yes,
what's going on?
Yes. Big fans of Bluey over here. But we didn't, you do these shows and you have these opportunities and you just kind of cross your fingers when you're done with it. You film it, you have this experience. We knew what we made was good. We were proud of the things that we are creating. You see a lot of these competition shows and cake shows and shows centered around an artist. An artist can rarely represent themselves in a way that they can stand by their product and say, I'm so proud of this, because you're on these time constraints and it's just different. You're in a new kitchen, so many variables. And so like to end a season, and we had so much fun filming, and to work with 3 other wonderful people and an incredible host, Christina, we filmed and we're like, all right, I think this is going to be something good.
It's so good.
Thank you. And when it came out and then it starts getting into number 1 and kids like worldwide, we were all just like, oh my gosh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, we can talk about the different food shows, and I know you've been on quite a few, but I think what stands out to me, having watched them, is it's a feel-good show, and it feels very collaborative as opposed to that, the competition. So if anybody doesn't, let's make sure I'm describing it right, but there's, it's four teams and you're creating something and there's a story behind it, right? So maybe you can kind of share that, because you probably have a better description than I do.
Yeah, of course. So Bake Squad, it is a squad of 4 of us. So I am, they call the Queen of Cakes, and we have our chocolatier, Gonzo, our sugar specialist, Christoph, and our incredible baker, Maya Camille. And we were all chosen by Christina to create a dessert for the nominees. So someone will come in with an event, and it is up to us as, individual artists to take their information and we present our own creation for them. It's usually, I usually stick in my medium of cake, but we definitely step outside of our comfort zone sometimes. And these are good people with great celebrations that really are just deserving of something super, super special. So it's really fun getting to work in this. It is definitely very collaborative and team-based. And I loved being able to be a part of a show that spreads that message to the kids that are watching, because they're always watching, and there's so many shows out there that are just cutthroat and just mean, and it's just like it's just too much. Just like, let's work together, let's make something cool and be proud of each other. Like, you can't win every competition. That's totally fine. I celebrate when my peers win because they're so damn good at what they do.
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact that there's a feel-good show that you can watch nowadays with your child, because it is limited. So I think you guys are putting out a great message. Aside from the fact that what you create is just, it's insane. How do you even come up with these ideas? They're
well, they're pretty. Thank you very much. When you're encouraged to go big and you're making something for TV, and we're each a part of this group, you have to just push yourself outside of your comfort zone to create something truly spectacular.
I have a question because you've won Chopped, which is another show that I love. You've done these different shows. Is it really like what we see on TV where it's like, okay, bakers start now? Is that legitimate? You're timed and
we're timed. No, so we're timed. We have to do things. We have the set amount of time. We have to get our creations put together and wrapped up by the time that clock goes. And there's production value that goes into every single TV show, but it's part of the structure. It's like they put these crazy parameters on people to pull off these grand ideas, and it pushes us to our limits. It's very, very challenging. Chopped especially, it was just like,
Yeah.
I was trying to peek through that basket, and they keep everything covered with like a black linen, and their culinary team comes in, removes it when our backs are turned. Like they keep everything very close to the chest.
How does no one have anxiety over that? Like I would be like, I don't know what to do. I mean, they, especially chopped, they throw in all kinds of stuff. You're like, the heck am I supposed to do? I can't even make, a casserole, let alone the ingredients you have on that show.
I don't know. You really, I think, would surprise yourself, Michelle. Like, it's when you're put into these odd, like very strange scenarios and surrounded by all these crazy restraints, like you're forced to hyper focus in a way. And it's like such an exercise in just like your intuition, and like you get to exercise all these other muscles that aren't really exercised when you sit and you have weeks to plan a project or even a day.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about these cakes, because I have a very practical question, Ashley.
Okay.
Are they really good? I mean, they look
good,
phenomenal. So do people, you create these, they're works of art. They're massive works of art. I mean, like sculptures have nothing on your cakes. So how do, like, you get commissioned to do a cake for, like, you've worked with Justin Timberlake is one, I know. Do they eat it? Or is it just too pretty?
No, it's still like, it hurt me for a long time to watch anyone cut into one of my cakes, because you spend forever on it and you're just like, they're taking a knife to it, they're killing my cake. But no, the cakes, they have to taste good. It's more than just the visual appeal of it. So
I know from the show, though, that they cut from the back.
They do cut from the back, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to ruin that. Yeah.
No, it's production value, just like she said, right? You got to keep it looking really tight.
I was going to say, speaking of that, so on the show, when they sample and then they decide, so when it goes over to, the final event, would they just cover up what was removed from it?
Yeah, you have to remake it. Like if there's part of the creation that can be kind of just patched up, obviously that's the goal, because it's a quick turnaround on the recreations. But there's some, like Gonzo had his big dragon egg. It was fell apart. It won. They had to put that completely back together and take it to the event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been a huge hit with the kids, and it's so great connecting with them and seeing the show inspire another just round of creatives to dream big and work together. And so, yeah, it's been really great to be a part of it.
That's great. I know, like, my daughter wants to do like baking camp this summer. And she does at church, they have different choices, and one was baking. And she's like, I want to do that one, Mom. And that was really inspired from the different shows, and specifically Bake Squad, like I said, is her favorite. So
I love that so much. It's my dream to have a summer camp for the kids. So all the baking camps out there, it's like, keep doing it. Get those kids interested, and any, parent out there that has a child that is showing interest, like, put them out there in those camps, because that's where you really meet your tribe. And at that age, it's just so incredibly important for kids to feel supported and have that sense of real tactical community outside of their phones.
Yeah, I want to just say something that I think is really important to people that have younger kids. Is what's great about a show like this is I think that we, as parents, look at our paths for our kids and the avenues they need to take in a very practical fashion. Get on top of math, get on top of science. You got to get a job. And I think shows like this are so empowering to kids that have that creative sensibility, that you can do something really big and you can make a great career out of it. So I think that's why it's a hit, because kids are looking at this as an outlet for their creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a walking example of that. I was a culinary school dropout. I always struggled in school to various, like, dealing with ADD, ADHD. Like, I never found a place where I truly felt that I fit in, because I have more of a creative, I'm just creative to my core. And that artistic sensibility has a hard time with structure at points, especially when I was a kid. So being able to have that outlet to get those energies out in a productive way, like it completely changed my life, being able to find the path that worked with the way that I like to learn.
I got a question on one of your titles. You're a food stylist.
Yeah.
So for anybody, I think this is cool.
You know what, Michelle? I think I can see your wheels turning about your daughter Carson. You're looking at all the avenues,
I'm like, well, yes, because
Yeah.
this is, her
this is her passion. Yeah.
The food stylist, I think this is a super cool, piece of your career that you do. And can you talk a little bit about that, about food styling?
Yeah, absolutely. So anytime anyone asks me, like, what do you do for a living, Ashley? I'm like, I wear so many hats, and especially in the food world, like I'm not one to just, I'm not just at a bakery. This is my bakery. I'm a pastry chef. Here I am. Like, I'm wearing so many different hats as a creative entrepreneur. And one of those hats is as a food stylist and a culinary producer. So food stylist is exactly what it sounds like. You get to style and style food and make it beautiful. You can do that for print, for television, for commercial. My recent job, I have a client. I don't know if you've ever seen Magnolia Table. I highly recommend that cooking show. Joanna Gaines' cooking show. Incredible recipes. And I work on her show as a culinary producer. And I also food style on that show. So we'll go through an episode, make about 4 recipes. And then at the end of the episode, bring all those elements together and just make beautiful, like capture beautiful shots of food for the show and for stills for the website. It's just another avenue in food media that I never even knew was possible until Cake Boss, actually. So yeah, there's so many different opportunities in the food industry outside of working in a bakery or working in a kitchen to really keep yourself like creatively inspired and challenged, get to work with various people and like really cool situations too. Like some of these jobs are just really, really awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, because you do the Today Show as well. You do stuff yeah. So it sounds like just a lot of different opportunities come your way. And then you'd work with a lot of celebrities. So they have specialty cakes and things.
Yeah, that's right. So I have a mix of work from like on camera work and behind camera. So whenever I'm food styling and culinary producing, I'm behind the camera supporting someone else that is either having their own cooking show or writing a cookbook. So I get to come in that way of support and a team member rather than being the one doing all the stuff. I'm doing all the stuff in my own way. But yeah, working at the Today Show, I was there for almost 2 years as their senior food stylist, and any cookbook that would come out, any celebrity chef that's on the circuit or doing something great, they all come on the show and they cook. And that definitely opened the door to be able to meet a ton of really amazing people and have, even just the other celebrities that would come on the show. Dolly Parton was 5 feet from me playing 9 to 5 on her nails.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a lot of really, really incredible experiences that I'm so just every day recognize how grateful and appreciative that I am for, just what life can be when you, like when I chose to take control of my life and my mental health and live a more positive, like purpose-driven life, then that's where everything just starts falling into place. It's like you find that passion, you give that passion everything you can possibly give, and you love it and nurture it, and you receive that from the universe in return.
Yeah, I know. Big applause. Yes. I have 2 college age kids, Ashley, and one is that person that he's a grinder. He just knows what he wants. He's of course the older one. And then I have a younger one, and he's very, very creative and kind of misunderstood, is not in the box. And I tell him those same messages. I go, find something you love and work your ass off, and everything else will fall into place. And network, just meet the right people, treat people well. So, and that's kind of how you've built, your young career. You still have so much more to go.
Yeah.
So What's next? Like, what are the big rocks that you want to tackle?
Gosh, what's next? In life right now, I am currently building out a studio in my detached garage, commercially zoned, just to have a place to teach and create content, a place to bring, because I've been traveling so much for work, and my daughter's getting older and she feels it when I'm gone. You know, it was easier when she was 2, or just not, you know, couldn't look at me and like feel like I couldn't feel that disappointment from her. Anyway, she's starting kindergarten, so I want to be home more. So I'm creating a new career here. So I'm at this point of transformation and exploration, trying to figure out like what is next. And I come at this from such a different mindset than before, when I, you know, started making cakes and they started getting very popular, and I started getting more calls, and everything was like this snowball that I was like in the middle of, that I never, like, once I popped my head out of it, you know, it's like, whoa, I need to take a step back for a second, kind of reassess, like, how do I want to structure this? How do I want to craft these opportunities in a way to actually creating and cultivating a life that I truly want for myself? And this is a new place where I'm at. Recently bought a home, and I have my daughter here that we have shared custody. So I want to be able to show her that, you know, I'm able to, I don't know, just like creating a life that she can be on the sidelines and be very much involved in, and see that anything is possible. And we don't have to stick to the narrative of having, you know, your 9 to 5, and you can have an unconventional and very successful and fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of, you know, I always try to look at silver linings. And I think one thing that came out of the past 3 years and the debacle of the world is that mindset of, you can tackle it on your terms, right? And I think that that's opening so many opportunities, especially for women that it's such a hard thing to juggle, being a mom and having a career and fulfilling your passions. And
it's scary being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a single household. It's hard. And it's like the amount of pressure there of like, God, it's not just me. Like, I can't just, you know, oh, I'm just going to go move somewhere cheaper or whatever. It's like, no, I'm here. I'm creating this life. I have my daughter, who, like, she is everything. So that becoming a mother has changed everything in the way that I view. So that's why I'm taking a slower, just more intentional approach to getting out of that snowball and making a choice of, what do I want this life to look like? How can I be as present with my daughter as possible? Spend as much time with her. Because we can create whatever we want. And I have a big garage with a bunch of space and a big imagination. So the garage too, I mean, I built it from the ground up with my hands. I'm talking like woodworking, carpentry, every single thing in there. It was this like dilapidated just place that when I looked at it, it was like, this needs to be like lit on fire.
And I bet it's gonna look, I bet when you're like it's gonna look so cool.
Yeah.
It's looking really good. And that's been part of just like that whole discovery of building this and creating this for myself has allowed me to kind of slow down and ask those like really serious questions. You know, it's easy to get distracted with all of like this and how other people see you. And, but at the end of the day, I'm the only one going to sleep with myself and my thoughts. And I want to make sure that place is as peaceful, and positive and supportive as possible.
Well, you're doing a great job, Mom.
Yeah.
She's watching it. She sees it. And I'm sure she's very proud.
Very proud. And you've tackled kind of the you know, je ne sais quoi, the kind of secret to success and happiness at a very young age. And my favorite thing is, and Michelle's obsessed with Oprah, right? Our age group, everyone's obsessed with Oprah. But she said something that was really great, and I always keep it in my hip pocket. She says, you can do it all, but not all at once. And so make sure that you are intentional. And that seems like exactly what you're doing. And I love that you're setting such a great example for your daughter. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like, seeing her, I love that too. It's like, you can do it all, but not all at once. And in this moment of like creativity, or of building in my life, there was so much creativity and so many big ideas that I put this like time clock on myself sometimes. So like, I love that you just said that, because I'm taking that as a reminder to me too, that like, okay, we have to trust this process. And it's worked all the times in life before, everything I've created for myself before. I'm in that very like, I'm in a building mode right now, where just trying to clear the dust and really make a good map of all of it. I'm getting into product development, which has been a really fun, like, new thing to explore. Finally just signed with a talent agent. We're talking books. Like, it's just at the very beginning again.
Yeah. Wow.
You are wise, and you have big things coming, even, in addition to what you've already done. And it's, just as Lori said, I mean, being intentional and pacing yourself. You got plenty of time, and look at what you've accomplished so far. It's like, holy cow. And
I mean, I hope you do look in the mirror and say, wow, like, I'm kind of friggin' proud of myself. Like,
that's right? My biggest tool, because it's so easy to get just caught up here, and you forget you even have hands, because you're like in your head so much. So when you stop and just like look at yourself in the mirror, I know it sounds so cheesy, but that's
true.
That's my moment, the moments of reconnection with myself, and where it's like the most grounding thing, and be like, girl, what are you doing? We got this. Look at all, like, it's just this moment for me to like have my back again and be my own best friend. And so, yeah, the mirror has been like a huge tool.
That, and I'm big on affirmations too, like self-talk. I do a lot of self-talk, because it is, as an entrepreneur or a mother or any of us, we're all going through it, so we have to just continue to lift each other up, lift ourselves up. And, I appreciate you for being open and candid and just talking about it, because I think women don't do it enough, and just being vulnerable and sharing, because I know anyone listening, watching is shaking their head, because they feel the same exact way. We're all like, yes, we get it.
Yeah.
We're all pretending that we have it all together, and none of us have it.
Nobody does. We're all a hot mess.
We're all, we all got road behind us of, So what's really interesting, and I'm hoping that we reach that younger audience with this, because this is a great episode, because we as women of our age group, so, we'll say 40-ish to up, right? We did a shitty job with supporting other women. And what I love is you've just given us inside the crystal ball of your age group. And I think it gives people insight on how we can be better as women to support those that are up and coming. And you hit it on the head. When you take on the world of entrepreneurship, I'm having a hard time today with these long words. It is very lonely, and we should all be locking arms with you and supporting you and giving you the right air to breathe, so that you recognize you're tackling a lot and you're changing the landscape, and it's fucking amazing. I love it. Got off my, I can edit all that out on my high horse, but just as Lori telling Ashley is, and Michelle, you agree with me, right? We're in the business of 100%. Empowering. It's just that you've just given me an insight, and such a relatable insight, on how I can, as someone who's, kind of in the next chapter of life, to, really support and write the right narrative for you guys that are trying to take on the world, man.
Thank you. And listen, I get these judgments too, to younger generations. I mean, I catch myself doing it to the generation younger than me, or like, we all have these moments of judgment with people, but the times where you have that self-awareness to catch that judgment and question it again and be like, actually, I don't think that anymore. Or do I? Like, you challenge those judgments. Like, why is this person making me feel a certain way? More than likely it's something within us that we're unable to see and judge within ourselves. We put that onto another person, So I think the more that anyone can catch those moments when someone triggers them like that, it gives you a chance to like take back some power and to strengthen and heal yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Michelle, anything else?
I had a question. Lori doesn't know the answer to this, but I do.
Uh-oh. I know the answer to everything. Come
No,
on.
you don't know the answer. I don't think you do.
Okay.
We've all had, fun jobs, funny jobs, different things. I know this answer though. Your first job was at.
First job in the baking world?
No, your first job was at
my first job ever? Taco Bell
restaurant. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. How do you know that?
I don't know. When I always do my research on people, I watch a lot of like different clips, and I think it was, I don't know if it was like your audition tape or something. It made me laugh because I was like, I did not work fast food, but I have friends that did. I have one friend that lasted like 3 days, and she had to do like the salad bar, and she was like, I'm out of here. And so I thought you said you worked at Taco Bell, and I was like, what was that like?
Loganville, Georgia. We had slim pickings for our job opportunities there. Taco Bell, but I tell you one thing about Taco Bell, I walked in there as confident as could be. My older sister at the time was having a hard time finding her new job, and whatever about this day, I walked into there as confident as could be, and I got hired right on the spot at 15. And I remember coming home and bragging to my sister. I'm sure I was being just a little jerk to her, but it felt so good to know it's like, okay, I got this. And I've taken that mentality like with work and opportunities, through to this day. So
that's why I always like to know what did you learn from your first job? Because we all learned something from that first job.
Yeah, there. I learned that I had a lot of issues with authority. So I don't know. I was such a bad kid. I'm telling you, middle kid. Dad wasn't around. Like I was like a wild card, and my poor mother.
But you put that into your, your profession now, like into your creative, all the creativity you do in those cakes.
Yeah. It's just about finding how to capture that energy that maybe isn't serving you and give it a new channel that's more positive to escape from.
I love it.
Well, I've learned something from Taco Bell.
What was that?
This is really practical. You can clean a copper penny or anything copper with their hot sauce, and I'm telling you, it's the best cleaner on the planet. That's a fact.
That makes sense.
No, yes, if you have copper or zinc or whatever, you put the hot packets of hot sauce on it, it'll shine it right up.
So, there you go. Brought to you by Taco Bell.
Brought to you by Taco Bell and Cliff Clavin. Yeah, I got the black turtleneck on, so I'm just slinging it. All right, where can people find you, Ashley? Where your handles, your shows?
Of course, yeah. So you can go to my Instagram. It's at Sugar Monster. That's sugar_monster with 2 R's. Or you can go to my website, sugarmonstersweets.com. I am so late to the game when it comes to blogging, but I have finally decided to sit down and be like, let me share some of these experiences on a deeper level beyond just an Instagram post. So, sharing what is it like when I get a call from the Drew Barrymore show to make 3 cakes in 5 days, like really giving the behind the scenes look into like this wild, unexpected industry.
Oh,
So,
I love it. I can't wait for that.
Hey, Lori, do we have a caller?
We do have a caller.
This is fun.
Hi, this is Carson. I have a question for the Sugar Monster, which is, what is the craziest cake design you've ever had to do? Thank you.
Aw, how sweet was that?
Carson. Oh,
that's my daughter, Carson. She called her because she's obsessed with you. So
not only that, Michelle, right? Tell her how she was begging to make a guest appearance. I said yes. You kiboshed it, Michelle.
Yeah, she was like, Mom, please, I just want to meet her. And I was like, honey, I said, but you can do a call-in. I was like, how about that?
That's so sweet. Oh my gosh, that seriously is so cute. And we should totally do a FaceTime or something, the 3 of us. So I can meet her. Hello.
That would be amazing.
Oh gosh, Carson, that's a really, really great question. And it's such a hard question too. Because there's been so many crazy ones, especially with Bake Squad. But I'll keep my mind focused just to Bake Squad. And I would say the craziest one there is the one that exploded sprinkles. Because it was so fun and so just out there. And I love that I could like show my creativity on the outside of the cake, the inside of the cake, and then the nucleus of the cake. That was so much fun. And then the life-size photo booth of like hammer pans. What cracks me up about that cake, I look back on it, and to this day, it's like they were supposed to be drop crotch pants, but in like the mix of it, I left the entire crotch off of the pants. So it's just like I don't know. I look at it and think it's funny, but maybe other people don't notice, but
they're all so crazy. I love the big giant dog with the fire hydrant, and then you open it. I don't know. I'm just always in awe. I'm like, because again, Lori and I both said we have no culinary skills. So I see what you do. I'm like, wow.
Well, it is like art. I mean, it really is like you have a photo, so you guys should check it out. Your Instagram is amazing and your website is too. So the pictures are just outstanding. The guitar and the amplifier. You blow me away that's a cake. I can't even get over it.
That's one of the most, that's something I'm very proud of. I was pushed to create that after Bake Squad. So I knew it's like, okay, people are going to be looking. I get this chance to do this big giant one, and I have ample, no pun intended, time to pull it off. So I like put so much heart into that design. It was supposed to play music. I had a speaker. That's actually a funny story about it. Every order, it's still so humbling because I can step back and be like, oh my gosh, look at that cake. That looks freaking awesome. I still spelled treble wrong on one of the knobs. And it was supposed to play music, but I didn't leave a place to access the speaker on the inside. So I like constructed the cake, the speaker's stuck in there. It disconnects from Bluetooth. I have no way of getting back in there. So even these big, like each of these like big creations still have their own little secret of, a mess up or a mistake, but I welcome it. Everything.
Nobody can, like, you're the one that sees it. No one else does.
No, but I stepped back and like, I appreciated that. I'm like, this is spelled wrong. And I thought it was funny. And it's like, as much as we put all this pressure to be so like perfect in our work and everything so buttoned up, it's like, I would have sat back and said, everything's great. I'm so happy with this, but there's still going to be one little thing. And just our human reminder.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a daily thing for Michelle and I, the call, Michelle, you misspelled this, or Lori, you didn't do that right. So, but that's part of the fun of it, right? Is because we are human. Nothing's,
Yeah, we did that. I mean, I remember, I always feel bad because I'm like, I don't mean to be plugging, but I own a magazine. And I look back at from our first issue where June is 2 years, but I look back at our first issue till now and the growth that we've had. But even still, like, open it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did we miss? There'll be like something little, like a period missing, or like the Instagram tag is off something. And I'm like, nobody else probably noticed it, but they're like glaring to me. So we're all like that. We all have that, but we have to just kind of relax and be like, it's all good.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah. We're the only one that cares.
Right. Yeah. No one's looking.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for your time and the unexpected great message in this one, right, Michelle? I mean,
absolutely.
You're vulnerable. I appreciate that. It's not always easy to be that, especially as a public figure. And I hope your message resonates with everybody, because it's something that we all as women can take in our hearts and process in our minds and do a better job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me and letting me meet your fans and your listeners out there. Hello, everybody. So this has been a really nice time speaking with you both. And yeah, I'm here if you ever want to chat again.
All right. All right. Thank you, listeners. We'll catch you next week.
This week's kindness takeaway is to send a text to a family member or friend. It can be as simple as saying, I am thinking about you. It is bound to make their day.
Follow us on Instagram at She's a 10 times 5. You can click on the link in our bio to listen to all of our previous episodes, as well as check out our live video interviews over our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, pretty much wherever else you decide to listen to your favorite podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe.